I'm going to do a quick video on how to change the grease in these in the gearbox on these Kitchenaid mixers. This one's the Professional HD. It says here on the side. There's several that are the same. These are the models that the thing raises up and down like this, the bowl. All right, let's start with this screw back here. This one screw is going to take this metal band off. That's going to expose 4 other screws. You get that off. And you can store that safely on the floor there. All right, let me show you right here. You got 2 screws on this side and then 2 down on the other side. You see those? All right, those two come out there, these 2 here. And I'm going to go ahead and take these out. I'll pause the video now. All right, we've got those 4 screws out. The top just lifts straight up and off of there. So just take that off and set it aside. Now we'll draw your attention to this box right here. Just come over top and look straight down on here. This is your gearbox, your transmission. There's 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to take those out and lift this cover off. You can pause. This particular one is leaking oil. And when you see them leaking oil, that means the grease is pretty much beat. It will actually drip down the shaft into the mixing bowl if it's got enough problem with the consistency of the grease. I'm going to lift the top of it off. You might want to whack it. Loose. Okay. And this is what we have. And this is what you're going to typically see is grease is turned to paste. This is really not doing any good. We need to take this out and replace it with fresh grease. Go ahead and pause. Okay, now I'm going to use a popsicle stick to scoop this out. And you just basically scoop it out onto a paper towel. You don't have to get it all out. Kitchenaid apparently did not use food grade grease for years. This is certainly something besides food grade grease, I would think. All of the food grade greases I've seen are white. There could be exceptions, but anyway, what you see I'm doing is I'm scooping this out. I'm going to scoop it out of down in here too. And one thing will help you get this a little bit better. This part here will lift up and out of there, and that'll help you clean it up a bit better. Okay, you can pause it. This is white lithium grease. It's about 1.5 ounces. You're going to read a lot of different things about how much grease you need in here. Some of these that we've looked into have not had that much grease in them from the factory. This one had a fair bit of grease. It was certainly ready to be switched out. And you can spin this to make sure it's falling back into place. You have here at the back, you've got this fan. You can use that, but I'm not going to touch it because I've got grease all over my hands. I'm going to put this whole tube of lithium grease in here. And no, it's not food grade. You can go ahead and turn that. But again, Kitchenaid did not appear to use food grade grease initially, and some of the stuff I've seen in some of these that I took apart in videos too. Doesn't seem like food grade grease. A little bit of grease won't hurt you if it did drip into the bowl. Just ask any mechanic about getting a little bit of grease on food, right? I'm going to put some in the top of this. Now this gear here runs your attachment out front. If you got a meat grinder or something, the one I'm squirting on grease on here now. if your grease is doing good, if it's not needing replaced, it'll stay right up in here. It won't try to seep out like we saw initially there when we first opened this case up. And that stuff is spread all the way around throughout the mechanism. Okay, composite. All right, we've set the 4 screws back in place. By the way, these screws that hold this transmission case together are the same screws, same size that hold the sides of the cover on. So, you know, you're going to have 8 of those screws all together. They're the same. You don't have to worry about getting them mixed up. Again, if you feel more comfortable buying food grade grease, then by all means you can get it on Amazon or various places. From my studies, the food grade grease is not nearly as robust as, say, this white lithium grease by Permatex. It does not leak into the food. I mean, it potentially could if the grease got really beat up, and but by that time your machine's going to be making a lot of racket. But you know, a little bit of lithium won't hurt you either. Got a buddy that takes that stuff. Little joke, not really. It might make you feel better. A little lithium. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm not going to video putting it back together. You know how to do that, just to reverse what we did up front. Have a good one. Hope this helps.